Right then, while I have my cup of tea, I'm going to show you a new mulching mower I have, and it's made by Stihl. So here it is, Stihl RM4RT, and it's all-purpose mulching mower, so it doesn't collect at all. And actually, it's the first mulching only mower I've ever owned in 16 years. I have had other mulching mowers before, but you could also collect with them too if you wanted to. So let's have a look underneath. I'm going to tip it over. I can't actually see a lever where I can isolate the fuel, so when you're tipping over, always make sure the petrol cap's on the higher side. So let's have a look at the blade. Nice to have a look before it gets all dirty. I'm just going to double check there's no fuel coming out of the cap. Yeah, that looks good. This blade's designed to cut the grass into very small pieces so it disappears into the lawn. And there are benefits to mulching grass because what you're doing, you're putting some more nutrients back into the ground. So when you're mowing and only ever collecting, you're just taking nutrients away from the lawn, unless you're fertilizing later. But with the mulching, you put in bits of grass in there continuously, which will rot down and add nutrients. So works a little bit like a fertilizer, really. Tip that back over because I don't want it on its side too long. The guys at Cutting Edge Machinery, they've already put the oil in, but it's always good to check if you buy something new that it has got oil in before you start it. Now at the moment it's on its highest setting, so I'm pretty sure it's going to need to go lower than that. Just going to drop a tape measure in just to get a rough idea how tall it is at the moment. I'd say generally it's about 4 inches tall at the moment. Obviously there's some longer bits. So this lawn hasn't been cut for 2 weeks, and it was cut 2 weeks ago by Mike with his lawn flight. And I think he cut it to 2.5 inches, so I'm going to aim to sort of do that at a similar height. I'm not actually sure what each level represents on this. I should read the manual really, but I'm like a lot of you guys, we don't like reading manuals, do we? But I'm guessing that this might be 1 inch per level. I'm going to start on the 3rd level. And I think that might give me something similar to what Mike was doing it on before. A bit more tea. I'll get the mower started now and see how it goes. First time I've ever used it. Says easy pull. Get these up. Don't want to be mowing me tape measure, do I? So I guess this is the dead man's handle. So you have to hold that on to get the engine going. I had this going last night. Started pretty well. So if you let go of that, it will stop. What I did last night, I put a cable tie around here, so if I ever want to leave it running, I can just put that on there like that. So just to add a bit of a disclaimer, I'm not suggesting any of you guys should do this with the cable tie. It's just something I'm going to do for myself. Let's get a bit of footage. I think that 3rd level is a good level. See, the cable ties just slip down there, so when you want to turn it off, you just push the cable tie down there. So I'm happy with the way that's cut. Can't hardly see any debris left, and I'm happy with the height. Personally, I won't use a mulching mower on long, tall, wet grass if it's going to leave a lot of debris on people's lawns. We've got quite a few residential customers where I'm not going to be able to use this mower because they like the stripes and they've got used to them now. So if I suddenly started mowing their lawns and not leaving stripes, they'd probably complain. But one of the main reasons I got this mulching mower is so I can use it on the commercial sites. So it's going to be just easier on our bodies. We're not going to be emptying the grass bag, we're not going to be stopping all the time, we'll have no waste to take away. And like I said earlier, we're also going to be putting nutrients back into the lawn. So there may be times where the weather's really wet and that we'll just turn up here again with the lawn flight and we'll start collecting. But while the weather's nice and fine like it is today, it's just going to be nice using the mulching mower. And also for the mulching mower, we're not going to overwork it. It's not going to get too dirty either. So I'm looking forward to using this through the season. I think it's going to save me a bit of energy. And also it's going to save me some fuel because it's not going to be running as long as the lawn flight. It's a lighter machine, and we got to keep in mind when Michael's using it, he's emptying the grass, the machine's still running, so it's obviously going to be using more fuel. Also, there is an auto drive as well, so you just pull this lever as well. Yeah, I'm going to crack on a bit and do a bit more footage before I end the video. To be honest though guys, it's quite easy just to push without using the drive. Guys, it's actually a lot quieter than using the lawn flight. I don't even feel like I need to wear ear defenders. Yes, I know guys, my lines aren't as straight as Mike's, but I'm getting used to the new mower, that's my excuse. But really with a mulching mower, it doesn't matter as much. If you're using a mower with a roller on the back, you definitely know when you're not walking straight. But anyway, I just want to show you the contrast between what I've mulched and what's still left to cut. So I'm really happy with that. It doesn't look as good as when Mike does it with his roller mower, but we have to find a balance, don't we, between what looks good and what saves energy and fuel. At the end of the day, we're all sort of ruled by what the customer says after. So if the customer said to me, we're missing the stripes, we'd probably put the stripes back on, but I think in this situation it's unlikely. I still think it looks good anyway. And as you can see, there's not a lot of debris lay there, so it's going to do the grass a bit of good. It's going to feed it a little bit, and it might mean it will grow more because it's getting fed, and then me and Mike can do some extra visits mowing. want to put a tape measure in, just to get an idea of how high that was being cut. I'd say about 2 inches. I've done all the pedestrian areas now, and I just want to show you what it's like underneath. And I think that is pretty clean considering all the work I've just done. Obviously if it was wet, I think there'd be more debris up there, but the grass was fairly damp and juicy this morning. It wasn't totally dry. The blade's still looking good, but one of the reasons the blade's still looking good is when you do a job for many years, you tend to get rid of all the stones that are sticking up and collect the debris before you start mowing, and over time you don't get any issues. So nothing at all's come off that blade. It's no stones at all. So overall I'm very happy with this machine. Obviously proof's in the pudding. Let's get an all season done with it first, and maybe we can talk about it again. And also I want to add, guys, is if you can, if you've got a good local dealer, always buy off them, because if you get any issues with the warranty, it's good to have a place to take your machine to. If you buy off the internet, it can be very difficult sometimes, trying to send a machine back to where you bought it from, or some of these places you buy from, they don't even have the capacity to repair everything. So if you can buy from your local dealer, I definitely recommend it, even if you're paying a little bit more. I mean, if you search the internet, you'll always find something cheaper, but I'd rather pay a little bit more from my local dealer than buy off the internet. But saying that, I still think the local dealer is pretty competitive, so just thought I'd add that in. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please give us a like if you can, I'd appreciate that. If you're new, look back at some of my previous videos. I've made over 150 videos now. And also, if you're watching this and you know somebody who's thinking of starting a business like this, share the video as well. Really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. See you later.